Okay. So we're going to ask a few questions just pertaining to the mayoral race. So a couple being with public safety. It's okay. A couple being with public safety and community. So Northport has grown substantially in the recent years. How will you balance neighborhood safety such as policing and fire services while preserving the character of the community?
You know, we have to provide our police departments, fire departments with the best possible equipment and people. So it all starts back at home. We have to make sure and ensure that we are hiring the best people, the best candidates, and training them the best that they can be. And then I think that we have to bring the people in our police and fire departments back together. We need to have more community functions. We need to make them to be commonplace in our neighborhoods and to make the people feel comfortable with calling the police and the fire department when they have problems, when they have needs. And I think when we get those areas bridged, I think both areas, both our police and fire departments will grow substantially, and the people will feel safer.
Okay, next question. Kentucky Park and other public spaces are important community centers. How would you ensure they remain safe, accessible, and inviting for all residents?
You know, we have to provide green space for our citizens. And we have to provide space that is usable and that is friendly for what their needs are. We have a great baseball facility now out at River Run Park. That is a great facility. I've said this a few times over the last few days. The only thing that's wrong with it is 20 years late. Northport, Tuscaloosa area should have had that facility 20 years ago. But we have it now. We have to grow around it. We have to build around it to make it be the most successful facility of its kind. And when that happens, our kids and our families will see a benefit that's really unimaginable right now.
What initiatives would you propose to strengthen relationships between law enforcement and the community, especially in underrepresented neighborhoods?
We have to have more of a presence. And when I say more of a presence, I'm not necessarily just talking about riding through. I think we need to go back to the old days of community policing a little bit, maybe not to that standpoint what it was back in the late 80s and 90s of community policing, but we have to get our communities involved. We have to get our police officers and our fire department involved in the communities. And the way we do that is we get them in there. We get events happening. We get activities going on that involve our police and fire in the neighborhoods. And when we do that, we build a bridge there that helps the people to feel safe. And when they feel safe, they trust their police departments and their fire departments. And I'm not saying they don't, because I think in our area, I think they do. But when we increase that trust, then they rely on them more, they'll call more, and the more notification that police and fire get, the more problems we can address.
Okay, now going to growth and development. Northport is experiencing development pressure, including sports facilities near Kentucky Park. How will you guide future growth to benefit residents while protecting cultural and natural assets?
You know, growth has to be done responsibly. Growth has to be sustainable. We are going to have to work with the city, with the citizens, to make sure that any growth that we bring forward is wanted, needed, and accepted. Right now, the people don't trust the leadership in Northport, and I hate that. We've got to rebuild that trust. That's item number one, is rebuild trust. And to do that, we have to include the citizens in getting their input on projects. We have a great athletic facility out there now. We have some other areas that can be improved. We need to know what the citizens' needs and wants are, and then apply what our abilities are. And when we do those, we'll have great success. Did I move on you?
No, you're good. Okay. How do you plan to involve residents in planning decisions such as zoning, park redevelopment, or mixed-use projects to ensure transparency and trust? How do you?
You know, there's several ways that we can do that. Community meetings, outreach meetings, making sure that information is on every social media venue that we have. But I also propose that we're going to improve our equipment on live streaming meetings, every meeting that we have, from planning and zoning to city council meetings. And I'm not just talking about video footage that looks like security footage. I'm talking about footage where you can see who's talking and where you can hear them clearly. Uh, you know, a little bit of this rests on the people, and I'm going to take a second to answer this way. A little bit of responsibility rests on the people to get the information that you're looking for. But we have to provide it in a way that everyone can get it. Not everyone can come to a meeting here on Monday night or a meeting here on Tuesday night. But we have the avenues to provide it to where everyone's sitting in their home. And with technology of today, they can sit in their home on Thursday night and watch a meeting that happened on Monday night. If we do our part by putting the information out there and making it accessible and making it clear and understandable, there's no reason why the citizens of Northport can't have every bit of knowledge that they need to give us back input.
What strategies would you implement to attract sustainable businesses and investment, especially in underutilized areas like downtown?
You know, the downtown is a golden gem that we're missing out. In my opinion, Northport is very unaggressive in trying to secure new businesses, new developments. So for a while, we're going to have to come up with ways to entice developers and entice businesses that we want. It goes back to responsible, sustainable growth. It has to be the growth that we want. Northport's going to grow. It's going to grow whether we want it to or not. That's just where we live. That's the way things are in this area. But we need to have good, sustainable, responsible growth that takes us to where we want to be for our kids 10, 15 years down the road.
Good, you were done with your question.
Good.
Lock the door. Okay, let's get into crisis in the classroom. So we have about 6 more questions left. If you're
Okay,
with that.
I'm good.
Okay, our teachers face budget cuts, high turnover, and mental wellness challenges. What role would the mayor's office play in supporting local schools and educators?
You know, I'm a huge supporter of our schools. I think our schools are a bell cow of our area, because when new families move in, they're looking at schools and facilities for their children. Northport does not have, nor do I support, a city school system, but we have a great county school system that has schools within inside the city of Northport. City of Northport has to help the schools that are inside the city of Northport, be it with SROs for security, be it with equipment, whatever way we can find. And a lot of people I know will say that, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. I don't take no for an answer. I think if we can get to the table with Dr. Johnson and the county school board, we can find ways for the city of Northport to increase its support in our schools.
How would you collaborate with the Tuscaloosa School District, parents, and community groups to address teacher retention, classroom size, and student well-being?
Just like with anything, competition is sometimes a bad thing. Most of the time it's good, but competition is a bad thing. We have to make sure that our school systems, be it the city school system, City of Tuscaloosa, which Northport really doesn't have a lot of say in, or the county school system, whichever system it is, those school systems have to be the top of their game to retain the teachers that we have. We have some of the best teachers in the business, but they have families to support. And if someone comes along with a better offer, I don't fault them for taking it. So we need to be the best offer. And if we're the best offer, then we get the best teachers.
What educational or training partnerships do you envision between the city and institutions like Shelton State or the University of Alabama to better prepare students for the local job market?
This may be the only area that you get me to be a touch critical on, and I'm going to say this. Northport has not done well at all over the last several years of partnering with other government agencies, with the city, with the county school system, with the state level governments. We need to get back to the table. I've used that a lot. We need to get back to the table. We need to rebuild those partnerships with all these agencies. We need to rebuild a partnership with Shelton State. And whatever it takes, we need to have our students involved in as many things as possible to build them up for the future. Students are our future. They're the future of this government. They're the future of the jobs that's out there, and we have to provide them with every tool possible to be ready. I love ball. I love baseball. I love softball. I love football. I love all sports. But 99.9% of our kids are going to make a living in ways other than those, and we have to prepare them for that. We have Shelton State sitting there just ready to go to work. If it takes the city getting involved with the county school system and getting involved with Shelton to figure out a way that we can help our schools, then that's what we have to do.
Okay, last three questions, and these are pertaining to money and economy.
Okay.
So with limited municipal budgets, how would you prioritize spending between investment in economic growth and maintaining essential services?
That's a balance that has to be maintained. And I feel, my opinion, that Northport is behind on the essential services. Yes, we take care. It appears our police and fire departments are running really, really well, and I applaud Chief Burton and Chief Marshall for the jobs that they've done. Public Works, doing great. I understand that, but we have infrastructure issues that need to be dealt with, and to my knowledge, there's no real plan to deal with those. So going out and bringing in new business, University Beach, things like that's a topic in itself, but we're not improving our infrastructure in places. There are areas in this city that can't be developed because there's no infrastructure. We have to address those areas. We have to provide better infrastructure for our citizens and our businesses that are here. And we have to get a plan started right away.
Can you share any specific proposals for increasing Northport's revenues, whether through grants, smart economic development, or public-private partnerships without raising taxes?
You know, taxes, you hear the word going around raising taxes all the time. There's two ways that you can raise those taxes. That's property tax, sales tax, and I don't think anyone wants to look into any of those. I think what we have to do is we have to build responsibly. We need to bring in some staple businesses that bring growth in around them. We need to bring in businesses that people are comfortable with. So restaurants, hotels, supply businesses will build around those. I applaud the swinging of the bat on University Beach. That's a huge project. I'm not in support of University Beach because there's too many unanswered questions, too many things going on. And I think with those unanswered questions and with the lack of confidence that the public has in it and the lack of confidence that the public has in its elected officials right now, it's going to be hard to recruit good staple businesses in. We're going to get really aggressive. We're going to get really thoughtful in how we address attracting businesses here. We'll say this. Right now, Northport needs to act like we really, really, really want your business here. And after a while of doing that and getting things on the right way, then businesses will start telling us we want to be in your city, but we're not there yet.
Okay, last question. What is your strategy for ensuring that new economic opportunities, such as developments near Kentuck Park or downtown, provide benefits equitable across all Northport neighborhoods?
I have a plan for the downtown area, and it includes some revitalization and some different use of some properties that are in that area. I think the downtown area is our gem on the river that we are not taking advantage of. We have to turn it into a place that families can come and have a good time, and people from out of town can come across the river and have a good time. But we have to add to it. We have to modernize it a little bit. We have to add to it, and we have to create some different venues that attract different people.
All right, that's it.